everybody. It is Anthony. You might actually, if you're watching this, know me better by my other stream. I recently started 12 years old. Aliera of Wayrest. That's right. I beta tested under my father, Akatosh, for Bethesda way back in the day when they were an indie studio. So, he was obviously in all of them. And I was just in Daggerfall, and in the book quest was the Runaway Queen, an arms dealer. Who actually helped unite Tamriel under my rules. So I provided a counterpoint to their male authority figure as an anti-villain, and I have been fascinated by that particular trope ever since. I've never seen it done so well. I sincerely doubt they would make me sign up for that. I haven't existed. Okay, user ID is not private. It will be displayed. I'm alright with that. Create account. Why is no allowing me? Must no more than 3 of the same one period, hyphen, apostrophe. Must start with the letter must end. No spaces. Okay. And underscore. 1 period, Aliera. Well, I'll just shamash. I'm actually okay with that. It's Aliera of Wayrest. Congrats, may now begin playing. I was wondering if my dad, when he beta tested I want to say when he originally beta tested this, because he was into online gaming, actually had to request, he said, I'm Akatosh, can I have my username? And they were cool with it, so.
Elsewhere, land of the Khajiit. Here, life should be good.
I love this.
But we suffer 1,000 perils.
No!
Beneath the tyrannical rule of the usurper queen. Our farms and villages overrun by hordes of undead.
You are the crops. They need love.
And the very land itself set afire by a rage of dragons. Heroes emerge, ready to defend elsewhere,
yes!
Wielding weapons,
spells,
and even necromancy. To claim victory at all costs.
Glory! The struggle is real! I haven't played Mythic in a long time, as you can tell. I'm saving myself. Oh my god! And that horse just stood there?
But through the smoke and flames, hope stirs.
My favorite. It's my second favorite. Love is my favorite. They're pretty much interchangeable. And then we have the world's like, can't they give us big crappy tips? Where are they? How am I supposed to know that, if I heal it gives me back hit points? Or that the boss will die after, he has no more hit points? Click on people to talk to them. That sort of thing. So, oh gosh, if you've never encountered it, Bethesda only does epics, really. They have a unique style. Mr. Howard and his partner build from the ground up very frequently. They use an engine. Everybody uses an engine. Don't for the second instance, they hand code a lot of things into it. So you won't see this cookie cutter hack and slash out of them. And they receive a lot of criticism from that. In fact, they would receive criticism from critics like myself because they're so into interface and what it can offer. And that's fine. The thing is, the reason that we criticize is that's fine if it is a company that's doing that. In fact, Origin, I think it was called Origin Systems back in the day, was completely and totally lauded for this because there were so many cookie cutters that the engines weren't progressing. They were just churning out. It's like the Hollywood blockbuster scheme that everyone is just kind of starting to protest, and the MCU kind of ran it into the ground where like people are just done. So that's what that had to go through. So these provide a unique that Mr. Howard was always on the cutting edge of like what's next, what's big. First person perspective. He wanted it in his game, and he put it right into Arena, his very first game, and his partner. There were 13-person studios, so like there were 3 people in the art department, and they were the heads and so on. And he built around that. Like we don't have fade-ins, but what if we put like one where you see one piece of the wall and then 2 pieces and then 3 pieces as you enter, or 2 pieces and 3 pieces, 2 pieces, 1 piece, to give that illusion as you're moving. And that sort of thing was what he examined. If we have an icon in one corner, does it look better to have that just repeat all the way around and so on? And that actually developed the virtual reality that is gaming in a way that making even in a truly incredible game doesn't. Making a truly incredible game advances gaming culture because it is a fantasy-based culture. As you hit steampunk, you'll get towards sci-fi, but you still have that heavy fantasy influence where you're looking at myths, legends, stories, rather than it's a numeric-based and a chart-based culture, but it is not history based. It is not based on our history usually. It can be, but they're almost always identified as fairy tales, and I have a fascination with those. I'm all over those like white on rice. So we have here obviously something with its own mythos, and I have no problem with that. I'm in the mythos. I'm Daedra, so I can't complain. If you want to make me godlike, go for it. But it's got, it's an enclosed world. Oh, dude, are you serious? It's an enclosed world, and this is not at all odd. Create account, okay. Looking for a server. Do I have a server? Okay. How about, oh, that's North America. Thought it was not applicable. Do I have to go again? Are you serious? Log in, hold on. Testing a login. I was probably phoning overseas there, so I don't usually see that. I usually see it referred to as the United States. I run into it with Sasha sometimes because he usually bounces off a European to at least get, some people using Cyrillic or some Russians off of a Ukrainian server or something like that. So, or Russia is also part of Europe. Occasionally they'll represent. Actually, more and more. We see them, I don't know if it's a space program or what. So it's probably trying to run straight across the Atlantic Ocean there for a connection. Hopefully we should pick one up this time. But I do still want my crappy tabs. Like, I remember back when they first started, they were so into that and so all about it. I'm not surprised to find that Bethesda has produced a piece that is not, they don't even look at, I mean, that's not true. They don't draw from these for inspiration. And if their art department has probably changed, but from the beginning, they told me this is how we do this. When we had this concept for elves, we didn't just draw the elves, we drew the background for the elves so that we had an idea of terrain. We drew according to the mythos for the elves, which was brand new. They weren't trying to be another D&D module. They weren't trying to do that. They weren't trying to buy into that and get bought out and whatever. So definitely went for something different. They wound up with this hodgepodge of symbology originally, which was then sifted out through the later games and organized into what I understand around the temples and their function. So you wound up with that culminating in this beautiful world in Oblivion where you actually have to summon my dad up to finish out the whole thing. But it's like they realized that temples were central to the lore and so on that they had created. And since then, they have come up with a couple different things. Having a heck of a load time, so I'm going to do share time. Hold on. So one of them being I do on my, I don't know if you can hear me. On my channel, I have done the Elder Scrolls cookbook. So I had originally thought that this was inspired by ESO, but it was actually based out of Skyrim. So since we've started, we've done a couple different things. But as you can see from the art department, just not even trying to, the skin of the elves, or excuse me, the skin of the Dunmer, the Dark Elves is blue. The Bretons, even though that is technically a race in, real life, doesn't look anything like them. They have the fuller cheekbones and so on. The Argonians were a brand new race, and then they go into it further, where they describe their eating habits. And the interesting thing about the lady who did this is she looked into the art of, and I could see why this woman would have, she did the Game of Thrones one. I could see why this woman would appeal to Mr. Howard and his partner immediately. She did baby carrots and moon sugar so far. And then this is a Khajiit dish, and you can tell that by the simplicity of it. The grilled leeks are found around Skyrim, and you can see a little bit more detail, and it does work its way out like that. So what she did is she went out and she bought a bunch of props, and she went through, all of the pictures and so on, and matched them to the surroundings, like what goes with what and what sort of spices would that, match within the real world and so on, and created these dishes. What's a good one that we did? We did sunlight souffle, and that was a lot of fun. So, nope, we're hiccuping. Oh, okay, good. Oh, it's me. Didn't think I would need props for this time through. All right, so where am I? In the U.S.? Yeah, we're just going to the U.S. Someday they'll, acknowledge that we're real public. Look what I am. Oh my god. All right, well, I'm a female. And too few characters. Thank you, friend. Oh, okay, it's not gonna. So if it won't let me capitalize, I guess I'll just see if Aliera is available. Do I want to be a Khajiit? I mean, technically, it's not gonna let me pick that. Do an Argonian. It's always an interesting one. I'll do a Khajiit. Do that. I'd like to know where I drop. Alright, novice gear, preview. Of Mary, body, head, class. Okay, class. We'll go with Nightblade. I usually pick stealth. Muscular. What do I normally look like? I mean, when I'm fit, probably about like that. My waistline is higher because I'm part English, so hard to match. Oh, they have olive. Look at that. They have olive skin tones. That's, I am so spoiled by that. Oh, back one. There we go. Well, some of those scars show, sweetie. They're technically markings. Body size, torso, this size. Like I said, my English heritage shows. You can be yummy and still have a tummy. I love occasionally the fact that Russians are just okay with that. I have biceps, which are hilarious because I understand why women don't want them. I really do. Like, it's hard to explain exactly how different, that is. Alright, and then my face, hairstyle. Ooh, I have different hairstyles. What do we got? Do I get to make a friend? Let's see. I like your earrings, but I kind of want to show those off. Alright, no hair. Just the regular, ooh, a faux hawk. Got the Q. Oh, that is the most horrible. The angry toddler look. So let's do that. I feel like that says I want to be human. It's like way too much. Hold on. Oh, is that horse for sale or? We'll do a faux hawk. My hair color is gonna match my markings. Maybe one down. No, definitely matching the markings. There we go. Adornment. I'm gonna go through the roof on it. Oh, nice. I like my earrings though. Eye patch. I get to be a scallywag if I want. Who wouldn't want that? What's this? Head marking. So they're all different, even though you're scrolling over. I would have expected it to just, you know. So they actually do this, huh? Love that. Forehead slope. Hold on, I gotta see this. Let me see this. They are, look at that. Oh, I can be uber feline. Let's do that. I'm alright with that. Thin size. I used to have this cat. She passed away recently. And she just had the tiniest little chin. It was the craziest thing. She had a little, I call them Air Force pieces. They're the little heart shaped. For some reason, I don't know if it's different gear or what the deal is, but some of the different military units, I would swear, have different facial makeups. Maybe they all make the same faces at each other. Like, I have no idea how this comes about, but it's a real thing. But anyways, I just called it an Air Force face. My height. I squint. Oh, you look like a dragon now. Look at you. I'm obsessing, but I'm gonna be stuck here. So, sorry, nobody will recognize me because I'm in, I'm in disguise here. So, there we go. That's more the nose that I'm used to. I don't look capable of human speech if I move that too far. You know? Mouth height. Mouth curve. Am I a friendly person? Is that really me? I want people to treat me that way. Ears. We want huge ears. If you have the little tiny chin, you gotta have the huge ears. Height. Just max that out. Alright. Rock and roll. The name is already in use. Oops, I got a fan out there. Alright. Aliera. Oh lord, I mean I can do my last name. Aliera. Wow, I don't know what to do then. Aliera of Wayrest. I suppose that would be the plebeian way of putting that. I guess they want you to create your own, you know? I just feel like, of course, my identity is not a Khajiit. I should have created a Khajiiti name. More Khajiit, a Khajiit-esque name. There's my... Oh, it's lore. It's not crappy advice at all. Starhaven Adeptorium. We Khajiit are enthusiastic people, and those of us devoted to religion often become adepts to study one of our aesthetic traditions. In many ways, the religious history of Elsewhere is the history of Adeptoriums. Moon, Bishop, no. I really should have created a Khajiit name. Sometimes, it's like, you look into these games and... Alright, so... Bright Moons.
Easy now, Walker. You are all right. This is Starhaven, home to peaceful adepts. There is a letter and the key to the door on the dresser.
Letter and a key to the door on the dresser. Okay. Letter from Abner Tharn. Find letter. I'm Abner Tharn, battlemate and former advisor to the Emperor, and I'm calling for allies to join me in Khajiit homeline and assist the Khajiiti Defense Force. Stop a rage of dragons. Terrible danger sweeps through the northern elsewhere. Province the Khajiit refer to as Anaquina. I have decided to offer my services to Lord Gareshri, Speaker of the Main, to help their homeland in this time of great need. I cannot deal with this threat by myself. If you have a sword or spell and a desire to test yourself against the ultimate enemy, find me in the town of Riverhold at Karjab Hall. And know that this is not a prank. The dragons have returned. Abner Tharn.
For surviving a dragon attack, you look well. The healers did an admirable job, yes?
Leaves the room. God, this is really beautiful. Hold on, I want to look at this now. Their attention to detail was incredible, and like I said, it always was. They were very frustrated by the restrictions of interface, and okay, that's bite. How do I put them away now? Honey, put away your hands. Which one is it? Jump. Crouch. Crouch undoes crouch. Unlike clicking, which continues fighting. Hit spacebar. Enter. No, that's chat. So now I have chat up. It's always interesting learning a new control interface. Guild finder. There we go. Wait, does H stops fighting? That's mildly hilarious. Yeah. My father and I used to email each other. He was never one for keeping in touch. Extraordinarily introverted man. But he would email. So I was H and he was D.
Ah, good. You're awake. Come, let us speak.
How are these guys the cat people with this accent? Did you ever ask yourself that? I was mostly fascinated with the Argonians. And I know that we are traders. So that definitely factored in. In general, in most games, comparing, for instance... Oh, am I not supposed to do this? It's such a bad habit. Oops.
Zamorak is pleased to see you are awake.
Me
You have
too.
slept for many days, and this one feared the worst. Still, it is not every day that one walks away from a dragon attack. We both were. The caravan that brought us to northern Elsewhere was attacked by the great beast. Luckily, the adepts of Starhaven witnessed the event and came to our aid. They brought us here and worked diligently to heal us.
Who are you, friend? I mean, I know you from the
A
caravan,
humble
obviously.
adept, nothing more. This one was exiled from his home long ago,
Oh, can
but
we
felt the time had come for
share
him
that?
to return. That is not a tale that Zamorak wishes to tell. Not right now. Besides, the Grand Adept wants to talk with you. Best not to keep him waiting.
Yes, I will handle this adroitly, said the adept. So, man, tell you what. But yeah, so in general, I've been playing. I play a lot of retro for obvious reasons. Because sometimes you look into these games and you just see yourself and what you learned and so on. If you don't understand the essential philosophy of House Falu, examine its coat of arms. Behold the scale that represents balance, trade, and compromise. Strive for balance in all things. Trade is the house's weapon, its tool, its way. What? Good for the characters. You made it in the upper class. Simply because... Field Guide to Spriggans! I love Spriggans. They're one of my favorite otherworldly beings. Elusive feminine nature of the spirit of the deep woods. See, that's very different from regular mythology. Guess what? Spriggan butt. And the juvenile jest. By far half fauna creatures, unfortunately. Tamriel has little to say about the Spriggan's why and wherefore. Spriggans are somehow mystically tied to copses or thickets. Connection to animals. These are swarms of hornets, even talk to timid creatures. Whether these animal allies prefer defend Spriggans out of love or friendship, or whether they are magically summoned by innate spell abilities and part of the Spriggan is open debate. You study mystozoology. Here evidence is called taproots. Taproots are prized by alchemists, so look for taproots. Got Spriggan groves. Spell Old World. They have this mishmash way of doing this. I ran into it in Game of Thrones, and it made me insane. And if you read the late books, Lady Cinnabar of Tamriel uses great means. Hold on. Human and female are creatures of the natural world, even though quasi-magical. You're partial that sort of fanciful. Okay, so we've got more on this from Lady Cinnabar. If we feel like looking into it, I think that's going to be the only, yeah. So they stay true to form. That's the only book on the bookshelf. I compare these to the adventure games because RPG was D&D based, so they stayed with that map, like open world module, that sort of, and they didn't try to be D&D. They didn't want to be another module, but you can see it in the style. So wow, that is a really kickin' Khajiit.
Greetings. This one is Majadro, Grand Adept of Star Haven. He is glad to see you in good health, traveler. It is not every day that one survives a dragon attack. Bright moons must have blessed your path.
There's a letter from Abner Tharn.
You were carrying the letter when we found you. It looked important, so we left it where you could find it. But how do you feel, traveler? Did the dragon cause any permanent damage? Let us test your strength then, yes? Though this one is now Grand Adept, he once trained the warriors of Starhaven. Sadly, it has been many years since Majadro last sparred with a pupil. Not here, of course. This is no tavern brawl. Collect a training sword and meet this one outside in the gardens. Let us prove ourselves where Joan and Jode can see us.
Taking it outside, like already?
Take out one of our training swords and meet this one in the gardens.
This is fascinating insofar as, you know, I open the inventory, so I need to press B to equip or use an item. Right click when selecting. I have this bad habit of skipping through these, and I need to not do that. So right click, lock, link in chat, mark as junk, destroy. Okay, so we're just gonna equip it. And then we're going to equip. We'll go kick some Khajiit butt. It's learning a new interface is always interesting for me. Like I said, I've beta tested for so long. I search for a bug first as I go through interface. So I'm searching for ease of use in interface and then also for bugs. Now that was, alright, you can scroll in and out. So that was, I see I'd have called him on my height. Not that I brought up a couple of things. Interesting, that's a running height. I brought up a couple of things back in the day, and they were all design related. So Mr. Hard made sure that we visited the art department when they came down. These poor guys, you know, they're going to be back out there with their Zen rakes, homing for... Where's my friend? Friend! Where are you? Do I have a map? Looks like he's behind me. Or, well, I'm pointing back towards it. He's behind my current location. So this way-ish. What looks like gardens.
The sky's warned of a changing season. Can you see it?
When targeted by a status effect, the appearance of your health, stamina, and magic bar changes when there is a status effect. Alright. Talk to him. Oh, we do not have
This one fears the dragon that attacked you was only the beginning, traveler. Dark moons loom on Elsewhere's horizon. Of that, Majadro has little doubt. But enough talk. We came here to spar, did we not?
Is sparring really the best way to determine if I'm
Majadro can think of no better. Like the two divine moons that dance in harmony, let the balance of your blade reflect the balance of your soul. Are you prepared to start?
Oh, honey, I could purr.
Let us begin. Very good. Once more. Solid strike. Sleek work. You strike well, but can you guard? Now, lock. Quick. Strike while this one is off balance.
I'm locked in. Friend, I don't like being locked in. You're just not even gonna let me do it.
Again. Strike with force, traveler. What a powerful blow! Shield yourself! And once more! Such masterful strikes! But what if you are in distress? Now break free of this one's trap! Get ready for another! Prepare for another trap! Again! Press your advantage with a heavy attack! Interrupt this one before he strikes! Again! Stop this one's attack! If your enemy charges their assault, strike! Interrupt their attack and punish their hesitation! How good it feels to spar with a student again! Come now, let us continue to the Adeptorium.
Oh, okay, hold on, let me interrupt myself. Skill points are used to unlock, etc., etc. Alright, so hold on. We can claim that. We'll dump these straight away into health. Net points. Skill lines allow you to customize your combats. Active abilities, possibilities. So these are my... Oh, they don't do buffs. Okay, that's different. For instance, online, World of Warcraft, etc. Advised ability, Veiled Strike. So I can take this. It costs 1. Hold on. What does it do? There we go. Flash an enemy, dealing magic damage. Steal an enemy's life force. Killing you. Or thrust a magic blade with lethal precision. I'm inclined to use this. Alright, so that is not a natural buff, so I do have to hit that. It is a buff though. Okay, so that is the same as World of Warcraft. Received a notification.
Wait,
view it.
Did you hear that?
You're beating heart, then?
Look out!
I want to open the other door.
You must help the other adepts. Take the passage through the catacombs. This one must go one Zamorak.
What is the passage to the catacombs from? I'm assuming we're heading back to the building. Hold on. Yep, we are heading back to the building. Butterfly. Garagoa. Oh, I can put up my code. What is this? You know, rules of the dungeon crawl. Your name's not on it, it's mine. Funny story, in real life, I am like the most virtuous person on the face of the planet. Obvious reason, I guess. I mean, if nobody's ever gonna let me hit the ground, as long as I stay, you know. Watch monkeys. Alright, so that's... you know what, I will just pop out my sword every time I'm mad. I'll do that. Let's do that then. How do you think I get into the catacombs? Let's see if they're marked on the map, firstly. Current location. Not going to give me any sort of a label. I'm alright with that. Go to the catacombs. So let's set the destination. Hold on. Go to the catacombs. I'll close down the map. What did that do for me, friend? Help me help you. Do I have a floating thingy on my map now? Is that what we did? Is that where my quest originated? Are these clear instructions? Are they? Oh, they are. They usually are. Oh gosh. Yeah, so they never wanted for that. As far as getting lost in the open world, that was considered a bonus at the time. They wanted you to be able to live and breathe in the world they were creating. One of the first things they did was establish, you know, that whole house building trend that was so big. And so I have a training blade, which is fine and mildly hilarious. Because in real life, what I have is a training blade. I am now hidden because I crouched. I have to find small children and teach them this. Yeah, in real life, I'm running around with a boken here. Which is mildly hilarious, apparently, to various and sundry people. It's fine. Part of gamer culture. The nice thing about being upper class is that I can do things. I do things like when we have a passion for something like this, we do let ourselves be openly seen with stuff like Boken. I'm doing ballet at the same time, so. Can I rush you? Ooh! Give a distance attack. That was stupid. I shouldn't have let him hit me. I have this really bad habit of doing that. And it's annoying as heck, even to me. Okay, so that'll charge to a certain point. Timing is everything in this, apparently. You know what? You're annoying to me. Oh, that looks dangerous. Alright. Down in the catacombs, searching for what's going on. Go down there. What were you doing? Lemon? Well, hell will take you into. You're gonna hand me all of the tools that I need for good eating. I'm gonna use them. I'll just loot the heck out of this place. Because what, you know, who sends you down into catacombs if there's anything in there that they don't want you to take? Catacombs private property. What are the rules here? Friend? Rat. Where's the rat? I can take that out. Just, yeah, ask any of my Daggerfall videos. Guts like bait. Sure. You know many a rat that has guts like bait. There's golden rats in New York State. Alright. How come I can't charge up? Can you tell that my number one training grounds was Soul Calibur? I think I can hit him before he goes. Okay. So now with these guys, it would appear that you can search them. So I should be searching for dead bodies. Loot not just... I have a mall? Is that a step up in the world? Hold on. Let's check this out. So we have Iron Mall. Starhaven Training Sword. I will do marginally more. I kind of like the idea of hitting things with a mace. It appeals to the priest in me. Chests and doors are locked. What a lockpick. What do you do, friend? Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh. I snapped it! Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Come on, you got the wigglies. I'm gonna snap these buggers, aren't I? They're like, this is what you get for thinking that you can pick a lock. My hose fire training kicked in. I was just like, oh, look at that. When the pin wiggles, release. I don't need your stinking instructions. I am Alva's man. An iron girdle. God, I'm not gorgeous today. Can I use? No one near an Argonian you can use boots. I can't remember if I can use gloves. Oh, it's just belt. Alright. And like I said, one of the things they were fascinating for was... are we friends? Listen, hold up. No. Oh, okay. That's just another player. I was momentarily conflated storyline with real life there. Alright. What do we have here? What's a crypt? This is not showing me where I have gone, friend. Go back the way I came. They took the dungeon maps that the team made and compared them to a man versus a woman shopping at the mall. And apparently they completely and totally invert. Where in the dungeon a woman will immediately...
Starhaven's adepts are
Another
peaceful!
corpse for our army! How grand!
Oh, I should block more. You know, this is actually functioning remarkably like Vulcan.
Thank John and Jod you arrived.
Hold on, let me loot this guy and then we can talk. Alright, what's up, Miss Jotty? Adept Baron! What happened?
You have my thanks, Fiveclaw. Without your help, we would have surely perished here.
Who are these attackers?
Followers of the Rimmen Queen Euraxia Tharn. It seems they seek something, and are not afraid to kill those who stand in their way.
Don't they know about the dragons?
The soldier spoke of hidden secrets and ancient graves, but it seems they are beginning to realize that there is nothing here for them. I can only hope that they will soon depart and leave us in peace, and take their dragon with them. Yes?
Allies of the dragons. I'll drop a token from Dad's temple. What crap between now and then. Alright, so we're only allowed to talk to him. He's like, the heck with that. I think, yeah. Alright, that was clearly the next place for me to go. It's really the only way for you to... That is not a rat. Well, I got a line on a rat here, lady. Where are you? Rat. I can't open this. Hold on, you can't use the door. I can't mount this location. What is that even? I tried to replay Daggerfall. It's mildly hilarious, especially because I forgot. They had filed a minor complaint about the lever by the throne, but it was really kind of redundant, and they said that they were deliberately making their dungeons like labyrinths. I'm not 1000% where they were going with that when I was younger, but as it later unfolded that so much of their architecture and their art styles were, well, Russian, honestly. I actually wound up dating a Russian guy, and everything made just so much more sense.
Well, it looks like you've certainly recovered from your wounds. And just in time to put that Yoraxian Jekyll seat in his place. Ziswo, is this one grateful we found you in that wreckage? The soldiers said they were searching for something, but they barely gave us any chance to respond before they started attacking. It is best to leave. There is no reasoning with these maniacs.
Like a dragon.
Yes, this one heard its terrible voice, like something out of a Moonsinger's stories. Ijadi had hoped to make her way to the Dragonhorn Tower, but she fears that fierce warriors now block her path. Not to mention the dragon circling overhead.
So, judging by the Khajiit Dross, they're going to be treated like kind of subordinate. The Russian Empire it still exists, as it extends out through Kazakhstan.
Atop the tower sits the Dragonhorn, said to ground dragons with one mighty call. Though Ijadi is not sure if the legends are true, it is our best hope against such a brutal foe. All we need is someone to blow the horn. It seems folly not to try. Then you must exit the catacombs and follow the path north. There, you will see the tower. This one cannot promise the plan will work, of course. The Dragonhorn is very ancient, very brittle.
Let's take 5 on this plan.
Yes?
I'm level 2.
Be with us. Many moons ago, Akaviri warriors known as the Dragon Guard protected this land. It was they who built the Dragonhorn Tower, a gift to safeguard Starhaven against the dragons that once plagued elsewhere.
The Dragon Guard.
So the legends say. What a shame the Dragon Guard no longer walk the sands of elsewhere.
Yeah,
we could use such warriors during these troubling times. We will wait until you have blown the Dragonhorn. If the dragon is subdued, that will be our best chance to escape. If not, well, we will try to be swift.
You know, and ironically, when you do have people who are thrill-seeking like that, they will find that peacetime is a greater task than war ever could be.
That is good to hear. Ijadi feared the worst. If you see them again, try to stay by the Grand Adept's side. He may seem steady as a rock, but age has caused his edges to crumble.
Alright, so now we can go rock and roll. Now that we have a functioning life. Where are we going? Where's this tower? There's the tower. Find the Dragonhorn. So I'm gonna drop a destination marker on there. It's not that I'm stupid, friend, but I get lost at the mall. Playing rocks and stuff. Whoa. What on earth just happened? Oh, my health is way down there. Oh, hold on. Getting beat on. Alright, I'm gonna take the part of Valley here. Scoot. Can we take take a breath. Okay, I'm down the wrong. Press E to revive here. Press R to revive it away. Alright. How long do I have? Not very long. I can ghost it for a little bit. Why are they trying to get me to attack butterflies? They're stressing me. Alt to exit. Alt to exit. Alright, I'm visible again, so I need to get my butt. Speed is my friend. I didn't become whatever it is that I am. You know, get bogged down by petty concerns like going the wrong direction. Oh wow, when I nap I do not stop. Where's north? Fall damage? Is that a real thing? Yes, yes it is. Like I said, you will see me die a whole lot of times with anything. I'm not just testing, I'm not just sitting here learning something, I'm also testing an interface. I tend to be a very good player once I get my bearings. So, endless respawns are helpful to me, just in a gameplay. They have a trap spell and it is like, look at my butt here. Okay, so apparently this drops a note on my compass. It's like a lodestone. So we're gonna jog this one out. Alright. But yeah, so I'll immediately check for things like does fall damage kill me, even if it's an inopportune time, because all that I do when I beta test something is go in. I use a very Disney style. I have cousins in Disney. I had very Disney style. You want me to really? To check storyline, I check design, and then I check interface with a mind to design. So I look at go to the Adeptorium. I think that this is that's where I woke up, right? So the whole time that I'm playing, what I'm interested in is how does your
The dragon may be subdued, but not for long. This one fears for those inside the Adeptorium.
Then Zamorak and the Traveler will go. You should take this chance to escape.
Majadro will not run while his disciples are in danger.
As you wish. Let us be quick then.
we're going this way. We all gotta go in separate? Really? Okay. Well, I guess. You want me to battle a dragon? You want me to... We're doing this, huh? Okay. Well, have fun.
The beast blocks our way. We must fight.
You must... You know, I just feel like there's a bargaining option in here somewhere. He's like taking it easy on me or something here. Oh, stop! Get the tail. Oh, that's, I should block that, huh? Can I? Seems logistically impossible. Just like kapow. Like, down on the ground. Well, the dragon, see,
The beast departs. Quick, let us leave.
I'm illustrating he's not blocking my way, so, you know, I'm putting that out there. I'm just gonna say it. The words of the ghost. Do I have to wait until I'm a real person? Alright, we'll watch this cutscene and then cut it. So this was the new, oh, that was it. That's the whole thing, okay. So,
let us leave this place before the beast returns.
Why did the dragon flee?
It was called away. This one heard its name on the wind. Balogdan.
Called away? Do the dragons work together?
Perhaps. At the very least, this dragon seems to have allied himself with the Euraxians.
Then the rebellion has begun.
Yes, this one is afraid it has.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Come, traveler.
Dragon Slayer.
Let us speak.
Alright, well, I'm not speaking. I am going to go ahead and log out. I'm Angender. You might also know me by my other screen name, Aliera of Wayrest. I run What to Play Next. It is a great gaming channel with an independent gaming review website, indiegamer.co.uk. So check us out. We find everything that is awesome in gaming. Went back to old stomping grounds after on the 25-year anniversary of Arena, and checked around. So there's, if you're interested in Bethesda as a company, just, you know, the cute little notes, like a director's cut, sort of. I especially did not know them so well, but I was familiar with the developers and the beta testers, Scorpia, who hosted on CompuServe for them and that sort of thing. Just neat little factoids about how they got started and what was happening back then in gaming that influenced everything. So if you're into that sort of thing, it is definitely up there to check out. We also have a bunch of free-to-play downloads that we like to collect. So everything retro, indie, especially, or it's easy to find free-to-plays. But then also we recently found Animal Crossing Mini. So if you want to try it before you go out and buy a Switch, you can try it on your mobile phone. Fascinated by the jump to mobile. So this is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's everything that I expected out of Bethesda. Their usual savoir faire. So thumb and a half. Thumb and a half. You know, there's like, you can tighten it up on, you click on a certain book or that sort of thing. I don't think that's what they wanted though, so they're not going to take that advice. They didn't take it back in the day and they don't want it now. They were definitely going for a style and they haven't. So I will continue to have my opinion and they will continue to make millions and millions of dollars. So, billions, possibly, who knows at this point. So smash subscribe. As I said, we find anything that's awesome in gaming. Look at us go. Hit comment if you want to comment, like, and thank you for coming along for the ride. We will see you in the next video, and as always, much love.